So for today's class, we're looking at parallel and perpendicular lines. So with this note, just take your time, pause it whenever you need to. We're going to be doing some graphing. Again, if you don't have graph paper, you're just going to have to be doing some sketches or borrow some graph paper from a friend. I think there is a pad up on the right teacher's desk if you're looking at the front of the room, but I don't think there's enough for everybody to have one, so I have told you that you need graph paper by now. Okay, so looking at these first two lines, we're doing parallel and perpendicular lines. So obviously one of these are either going to be parallel or perpendicular, and I'll talk about what that means in a moment. But if I look at this first line, if I were to graph it, we've got a slope of 2 or 2 over 1 and a b value of 3. So if I were to graph this, I'm going to go to 3, put my dot, then I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Remember, again, I can go back or down to left 1, down to left 1, down to left 1, as long as I want as well. Then I'm going to take my line here, my nifty little ruler, and I'm going to just connect the dots, and there's my line. And the equation here was y equals 2x plus 3. Alright, and now that my second line, we've got something very similar. We've got a slope of 2 and a b value of negative 5. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down to negative 5. Oh, whoop. Don't want to give away anything. Go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. For as long as I kind of need. Remember I said three lines is good, or 3 dots, excuse me, is good. But you can always do more because it'll make it easier for your ruler. Now I'm going to connect the dots. And for this one, why don't we just label this as graph 2. Let's do it like this. We'll label it as graph 2. And then down here, I'll just do graph 2. Remember, you do need to label your lines. And you should have arrows on the end. My lines just don't because I'm using the computer. So when we have these two lines, something that you should notice is that they're never going to intersect. And the reason they're never going to intersect is because they have the same slope. They both go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And this one's going up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So this line can never catch up to that line, and this line will never go down to that line. Let's move on to this next one. Now this next one's a little bit different. Here we still have a slope of 2, but over here we've got a slope of negative 1/2 and a b value of 2. Now when I graph this, I'm going to go to my b value, put it on the y-axis, or in red this time. I'm going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, and let's say I couldn't go down anymore, we can go up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. Take my fancy ruler, connect the dots. I'll just extend this out. I know you guys can't extend your lines like this, but it's kind of the bonus of using the computer. Well, again, we'll label this one 1. So this is 1. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. We've got a slope of 2, a b value of negative 4. I'm going to go down to negative 4. Oh, let's change colors, sorry. Negative 4. I'm going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and so on. Get my ruler out, connect the dots, and there we go. This is 2. Now what you should notice about these ones is they directly intersect, and they not only they directly intersect, they intersect at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that line right there is a 90-degree angle. Now the way that we know this is actually by, I'm going to use a highlighter here, it's actually by our slopes. Just like in the last question when the slopes were the same, the lines never touched, the slopes here are unique. This is 2 over 1, and this is 1 over 2. So they're actually reciprocals of each other, but that negative sign makes them a negative reciprocal. And that's what makes a perpendicular line when we're graphing them. You have to have the negative reciprocal. What that actually means in layman's terms, if I was just looking at it, is we flip the fraction and change the sign. Okay, so you're flipping the fraction, changing the sign for a perpendicular line. Okay, now here we've just got properties. Okay, so please copy. Parallel lines have the same slope and different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals. We just talked about that, and I've written it down here. And the y-intercepts can be the same or different. It doesn't really matter. They just have to have a negative reciprocal slope. Now, to create a negative reciprocal, we flip the fraction and change the sign. And the two numbers that are multiplied together are going to give a product of -1. It's just a unique property of it. Okay, so I think this might be the last slide here. Oh, 2 more slides. So when we're looking at this, it says graph this following. So we've got a slope of 2, y-intercept of 3. So kind of the same thing we've been doing for the last little while. Still that slope of 2. Got a y-intercept of 3. We're going to go up 1, over 2. Now check your scale here. My scale is going by 2s. It's a little bit difficult. So up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Alright, so it's going to look something like that. And when we connect our dots, let's see if I did a good job here. Oh boy. Yeah, not bad. So something like that. Now it says create a parallel line that has a different y-intercept. Well, really, that line could be kind of anything. The parallel line means that our slope is going to be 2. You can actually pick any y-intercept you want and work at it. So if I have a slope of 2, and let's choose a y-intercept of, I don't know, let's say a y-intercept of 0. Because that's actually a pretty tough equation sometimes. People struggle with it. But really, it's just y equals 2x plus 0, or y equals 2x. So I'm going to go down to 0, change colors again, put my dots, go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and connect my dots. And there we go, parallel lines. Okay, I should have labeled these graphs. We'll call that 2, 2, and this one, 1, and 1. All right. Last one. Now this question's a little bit more tricky. I always find that people struggle with perpendicular lines because you have to remember that negative reciprocal thing. So again, we've got this same graph. We've got a y-intercept of 3, slope of 2, starts there, goes like this, goes like this, I'm going to go all the way up, and let's go all the way down here. Put a whole bunch of dots on the graph, make it look really nice. Alright, get my trusty little line creator here out, draw a line, stretch it all the way out. Something like, oh, where am I at here? Something like that. Alright, now it says we need to create a graph that's perpendicular. So what that means, if it's perpendicular, so our slope has to be this fraction, which this fraction is 2 over 1. So we have to flip the fraction, which would be 1 over 2, and then we have to make it negative. So we're going to have -1 over 2. And it tells me the y-intercept is -4. So really what that means is our b value is -4. So the equation that I'm graphing is y equals -1/2 x minus 4. So now I'm just going to come down here, -4. And then I'm going to go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Or I could go up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. Get out my little ruler here. Connect the dots. And we are done. Again, I'm terrible at labeling things. So let's call that 2. 2. And the other one, call it 1 and 1. Okay. So after you're done copying this down or getting down what you needed, I've put the work on the Google Classroom.